So next thing is like, how does this actually make money, right? So what is online bookkeeping business like? What are the different services that you should be like breaking down? I had one of it's actually very interesting, right? Where it's don't overcomplicate this stuff, right? Okay, so client setups and chart of accounts. Okay, so this is actually a really simple service. Let's say that they're a new business, they're starting to grow to like the right size. Hey, can you help me set up my QuickBooks? Okay, that is a service that we offer, right? So you charge for that. That one's not too hard. It probably takes about 2.5 hours to do that. It's not super large, it's not super long, right? That one you can charge like between 285 like $300 for that. Next thing, like monthly bookkeeping plus bank recs. Okay, so for that one, we always like to recommend between 500 to 5,000 per month. Inside of our training program, we give you like a pricing calculator, so you know exactly like how much you should be charging, and it basically helps you understand all the different features. So not just like monthly bookkeeping and then another service. It's like everything together. So you can tell like how much time will each of these things take and like how much should you be charging for it. It makes it super easy. And plus like you can go like line by line with them on the calculator. Also, if you ever want some help like inside our mentorship program, just click the link inside the description below. Book a call and see if we can help you inside our program. So next thing is financial reports, P&L, balance sheet, cash flow statements. It just very simple, right? Usually that's going to be like the deliverable for cleanup, which is actually the next service, which can be like your cleanup slash catch up. That is actually one of the highest dollar items in bookkeeping. Now, it's not that it's exponentially more than like regular monthly bookkeeping. It's just that it's you're condensing how much time the books are. So basically, let's say that they're a whole year behind. You're basically charging for 1 year's worth of service up front. Okay. So it's a lot. I like it. It just does a lot for your business, right? Cash flow in your business is just all about getting as much cash as you possibly can on day number one. Now, here's a cool thing too. For the monthly bookkeeping, you can get a client to pay for the whole year up front as well, especially at the end of the year, right? Very interesting to see that happen. Next thing is like ARAP. You can also add in payroll if you want. I like AR. A lot of people like don't like it. They're like, oh, it's just so data entry like heavy. It's like, okay, you can always have someone do it for you, number one. But you can, in a lot of cases, you can double your monthly price quote just by adding AR. So it's actually really a good service to offer when you're like starting out your business. Next thing is like tax ready books, and so you can hand off to a tax pro. That's just making sure if you have a little bit of background in tax, you can just kind of make it make sense from like a tax perspective, have better quality notes, you can hand off to the tax pro. That's really simple, really easy. I like that service as well. Now, when you're trying to grow your business, there are a couple different metrics to be aware of to see like how healthy is your client, is your business. So number one, AOV, that's average order value. So I like to track that like on day number one, how much cash are you collecting on average, right? So this is good, right? You want to get this as high as you possibly can. Let's say if you can get on average $5,000 on day number one, that's going to give you a lot of flexibility down the road. It's not as important when you're doing a lot of stuff for like your marketing for free. So if you're using like LinkedIn or Facebook, it's not as important. But if you ever want to advertise your business to grow faster, the amount of money you can collect on day number one gives you a lot more freedom to advertise heavier, right? So let's say that you're spending like maybe $1,000 a month on ads, right? If you're doing that for, you should be getting a client every, let's say like $200, right? It would be like a good rule of thumb for Facebook ads, right? So at $200, you spend like $1,000, that should be about five clients. Now, for that one, okay, so if you spend $200 a client, if you get like month number one up front, let's say minimum 500 bucks, you're over double. You're 2.5xing your money on day number one, right? That's really important. But if you start advertising a little bit heavier, let's say you start spending $3,000 a month on advertisements, sometimes if your advertisements are not as efficient, when you're spending the $3,000, instead of it costing $200 per client, it might actually cost you more like $500 to $700. So now if you're still collecting only $500 a piece, you're losing $200 immediately, which is not a bad thing, right? A lot of businesses will operate negative for the first month. That's not a bad thing. But it's a lot better for your business when you're spending lower and you're collecting that 500. So now when you're spending more money, you have to get that average client value up higher. So maybe instead of you're spending like $700 per client. Now you have to try and get $800 to $900 upfront for every single client. You see how it's different? So if in the beginning, even when you're getting your clients for free, if you can get that average order value on day number one to be like 1,000, $2,000, $3,000, then it makes things a lot easier. That's an easy way to do that, just by charging a cleanup fee for almost every one of your clients. Either a cleanup fee, or in the marketing space, they used to call it a setup fee, right? You can do the same thing for your bookkeeping, but you want to see if you can get at least 6 months to a year's worth of income prepaid before you ever even start, right? Just makes everything easier. Now, the next thing is your lifetime value of a client. Now, the cool thing is that the longer the lifetime value, again, the more flexibility you have. So we talked in our previous example, when you're spending $1,000 a month on ads, it costs you $200 to get one client. When you're spending $3,000 a month, it costs you $700 to get a client. Now, if you're not able to get a lot of money up front, like a high average order value up front, then it can still, like I said, it can still be okay. Like you can run in that negative like for the first like month, right? And if you know a client's going to stay with you on average for 3 years, right, you have 36 months. That means only that 35 out of 36 months were profitable. Okay, I'm willing to lose a little bit of money in the business and pay that $700 to get $500 up front if I know I have 3 years worth of monthly fees that I'm going to do. That's like a $36, like $1 in, $36 back. That's exponentially huge. Usually in the online space, whenever you spend like a dollar, you're expecting to get $3 back. So if you can get $36 back, you are like an elite marketer at that point, right? But a lot of people don't know it's not that your marketing is so good, it's that your business underneath is really good. So it's like lifetime value of a client is exponentially, that's a really big focus as well. Okay. Now the cool thing with that as well is that lifetime value, as your skills increase inside of the accounting space, you can charge for more services and that will further increase that lifetime value, right? So you can get cleanup, you can get formation services. So that's maybe you help them like actually just incorporate an LLC, then take from LLC to an S corp, and then you go and like maybe you start offering tax strategy, maybe you offer CFO, and you just keep ballooning how much you're actually able to get. If you can get $50,000 for a client, let's say the top amount of money someone could pay you is, let's say like $50,000. That would make you pretty invincible. Pretty invincible. If you get the average client to pay you $100,000, let's say over the course of 5 to 10 years, oh, you would be financially invincible. Nothing could stop you, right? Nothing. Because that's your average client. That's not your best client. That's your average client. So it's okay. So let's say that, or sorry, that's your best client or average. So let's say your best client could pay you $50,000, but your average client pays you, let's say, like $30,000. That's still really good. You get 10 clients, that's already $300,000, right? And it's just, man, you just keep doing that over and over again. You would not have to think about money. Like that's the funny thing, right? It's like when you're starting this stuff, like a lot of people are like so focused on the money, but there's gonna come a time in your career where it's like you have the money thing figured out, and it's more about like how do you just make the business either more fun, more simple, easier, and you start thinking about, okay, so how can I add longevity to this business? And the cool thing about that is like when your business is built for longevity, then you can sell the business even easier too. Next thing to focus on is like what's your churn, CHURN, plus your capacity, right? You're always trying to understand like what is your current capacity, and then also like how many clients are leaving you. Now, in a service like this, you're not going to have a lot of churn. Let's say you have 10 clients, you might lose like 1 to 2 a year, if that. You might lose two, right? So you have to be able to track that. So if you have 10 clients, are you expecting one client to leave? So if you want to just keep your income the same, okay, you just have to, in the course of the year, get one client to replace that client's going to fall off. If it's two clients, replace two. If you want to grow, if you know one's going to fall off, just get two clients that year, right? And you can just really control that. And that's how you keep your income like as level as you possibly can. Also by spreading it out a little bit, right? So like we said, churn is a lot more vicious if you have an ultra high like dollar client. Like if you have a client paying you 10K per month and you have another paying you 10K per month, and one of them leaves, it's gone. But if you can spread it out, like probably what I would say, what is this? You want like probably when you get to your revenue goal, you want each client to be worth at least 12.5%, right? That's probably what I'd say. 12 and a half of your income. Right? That way, if like one drops off, you're not significantly devastated. Next thing is how much time per client. This is important as well. If you have one client that's paying you a little bit of money, but it's taking all of your time, that is not a good thing. That's going to be on a short list to cut off. Next thing, like, what is your gross margin? Okay. This is important as well. You want to keep your profit margins as high as you can for as long as you can until you're ready to really try and scale the business. Now, scaling the business is a very weird word in the online space because a lot of times the online space, our expectations are a lot. Our expectations and our understanding of the business is a lot smaller. So when everyone says like scale, if they're talking about growing the business, anything less than about $1 million per year or 2 million or 3 million, you're not really scaling. You're just growing your business. You know what I mean? Now, so it's like mo many of you guys are not actually going to scale. And like it's very important for you to understand like what kind of business model you're actually in. Are you running your accounting firm like a performance business where you want to have very high revenue? You don't really mind having a lower either take home or profit so you can maybe sell the business one day? Or are you planning on this being just kind of like something you do for the next like 10 to 20 years, depending like how long you have in this game, right? If that's the case, where it's like 10, 20 years, okay, we want this thing to be as profitable, as simple, as easy to run so that we can still enjoy like our life, right? That's really actually in a lot of cases for some people a better option just to make the business. If you can get this thing to be like a free like 15, sorry, 150, $160,000 per year, but you're spending like maybe 5 to 15 hours on it, that's a really good lifestyle, right? Because you spend the rest of your time doing whatever you want, right? So it just depends. Now, next thing is your referral rate. Like how many of your existing clients are referring more clients, or do you have a different referral partner? So if we can track those, that's really good. But yeah, just really focus on that. Now, for beginner, just target between $6,000 to $10,000 per year per client. That's a really good first start to be at. That if you're getting 6,000 on average for a client, that means they're paying you $500 a month. If you get 10,000, that means that it's the same $500 per month client, but maybe they're paying you for about a year's worth of cleanup, right? Let's say the cleanup for beginner size like that is maybe like 5,000, right? So that's going to make things very simple for you. You just keep it very streamlined, very straightforward. Okay. Next thing now, if you've been trying to grow the business for a while, but it's just maybe not going the way that you hoped, or you know that you can move fast if you had some like really like guidance and someone holding you by the hand, click the link inside the description, either above, below the video, to book a call with myself. Let's see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. Now, this is important. If you really want to get like the freedom and the lifestyle that comes with having a successful business, being able to go where you want, to be able to take that vacation without having to worry about money or time off from your work, or just a lot of the stuff that causes most people to stress out in life. If you want to live a life that's just different and just the life that you design, click the link inside the description below this video. Book the call. Let's see if I can help you. If you're on your mobile phone, click on the little circle that has my face on it. It will open up the more. It'll say like more. It'll open up the description. You can see more. You can book a call. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. Talk to you later.